What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today we have one of the most common and abundant rifles on the planet, and possibly your grandpa's favorite rifle, the SKS. So not only is the SKS a very common rifle that most of you have probably fired or even owned at some point, but they're also very affordable, even in today's climate, which says a lot. And that's another reason why they are so common, because pretty much everyone can afford them. So we're gonna see if the SKS is worth the low price tag or if it's a cheap pile of garbage that you should avoid altogether. And we're gonna do that by shooting the crap out of it. So the SKS was manufactured in the Soviet Union in 1945, and we actually have a Russian version here. You can see the star on the dust cover and the Russian markings on the side of the receiver. By the way, I want to thank BFF Firearms in Danville, Illinois for loaning me this rifle. If you're in the area, definitely go check them out. I appreciate the support. So the SKS had a 10-round internal box magazine and a 20-inch barrel, and when the AK came out, showing off with its shorter barrel and 30-round detachable magazine, you could see why these were no longer the #1 choice, but they were still used in service, and to this day, there are millions of these things that are running just fine. Pew, pew, pew. This is our first SKS video, by the way, so I'm excited. Now, the SKS shoots this little guy, the 7.62x39, most commonly associated with the AK, which is one of the reasons it was so easy to replace these things with AKs, because they shoot the same bullet. So, I haven't shot it yet. Let's see what it can do. I like it. To me, the recoil doesn't feel quite as sharp as an AK. Now, my AK is way over gas, so that might have something to do with it. But this thing, surprisingly, feels really good. Well, I was at the store last night trying to find stuff to shoot in today's video, and I came across an entire wall of Fago moon mist. I haven't seen this stuff since I was a kid, and if I remember correctly, it's terrible. So we're gonna just fully send it on a Fago pyramid, and it should be very satisfying. All right, we've got 10 rounds and 6 cases of pop, so that should be enough to take care of all of them. I mean, I do suck, but hopefully not that bad. Because of the camera angle, you might not have been able to see just how far those pop cans were flying. They are 30 feet in every direction around this table. All right, moving on to the important scientific stuff. Let's try a giant can of banana pudding. So I had a few rounds left in the magazine after I took those last shots, and look at the discoloration on that bullet. And they all look like that. I assume it's caused by heat, but I've never seen that before. It's kind of weird. I've shot this pudding once before and it was disgusting, so I'm not really sure why I'm doing this, but I guess we'll just send it. Wow. Ah! Oh, I got a banana cream pie all over my shorts. I feel violated. And there's our banana pudding can. It's kind of hard to tell where the bullet went in and came out. It looks like maybe it went in over here and then came out on this side and just completely destroyed that banana pudding can. Now, I could be tripping like a player hater, but to me it looks like the SKS is doing more damage than an AK would. I assume the longer barrel is giving the bullet more velocity, and everything we've shot just seems to be really dramatic for a 7.62x39. Again, I don't know, but it sure seems that way. Well, we've made quite a big mess, so let's try and clean it up a little bit with some 5-gallon water jugs. And for this one, we have the bayonet deployed. Let's just go for it. Wow. Well, my plan was to put several rounds into each of those, but it looks like one basically destroyed them, and now I'm completely soaked. And you can see what 1762 will do to a 5-gallon water jug. We have an entrance hole right there in the middle, completely blew out the side, and then put a giant exit hole in the top of this thing. And this video perfectly demonstrates why I love the 7.62 by 39. It packs such a big punch, and it's obliterated everything we've shot with it. Well, we've spent the majority of this video mag dumping into garbage, which is what I like to do most. But before we wrap it up, we have to at least shoot one target that will show us something significant. So on the table, we have a 50-pound block of clay, and we shot this thing last week with several guns, including the 50 cal, and it was absolutely incredible. So let's hit it with the SKS and see how much damage we can do. And this is a 7.62 by 39 hollow point, which should do the most amount of damage. That actually did more than the 50 cal. All right, well, after looking at it, I can see why it did so much damage, and this is definitely not the result I was expecting. So you can see the top and the sides are just completely blown out. The top actually almost came off, and it just completely deformed that thing. But if you look in there, you guys probably won't be able to see it. Our bullet actually stopped in that clay, so it broke apart, expanded, and did not go all the way through. You can see on the back there is no exit hole, and it just blew out the sides and the top for probably the first 8 inches. And I brightened it up a little bit so you guys can see just how big the wound cavity is inside that clay. It's probably 10 inches across from one side to the other. And last week we shot this clay with 9mm and 5.56, and both of those blew right through it. Obviously the 50 cal did as well. So this is the first bullet that we've actually had stop in the clay, and that kind of shows you just how effective these 7.62 hollow points are. They usually just disintegrate on impact and do a ton of damage, so that was impressive. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. The SKS is a fine rifle for a lot of things. Is it the best choice ever? Probably not, but the cost and availability are what make these things so popular, and I definitely think you could do a lot worse, especially for the money. The 7.62 by 39 has the same effect whether it's coming out of an AK or it's coming out of an SKS, and from what I've seen, they seem to be very reliable guns. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm sure a lot of you own SKSs or have at least shot them quite a bit. Like I said, there are millions of these things out there, and pretty much everyone I know has an SKS. So I'd be glad to hear from you guys as always. If you like the video, please let me know down there as well. And as always, hit that like button for me, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.